Hello and welcome to the final 9 of the 2024 Music City Open presented by Lone Star Disc. We are at Mill Ridge in Nashville, Tennessee. I'm Erika Stinchcomb.
I'm Madison Walker. We're your two hot geese.
Honk. Honk. And today we give a champion a sweet guitar trophy. Holyn Handley able to get 2 strokes on Kristin early in the front 9, now 3 strokes back. That's a lot of movement for 9 holes.
It sure is. And Kristin looking as solid as ever. Holyn kind of struggling as we're wrapping up the front 9 of this final round. Look at Hinna Bloomroos and Evelina Saarinen both shooting some under par rounds. They were both going back and forth for the hot round, not minding the cold conditions. Silva, Saarinen, and Ella Hansen both looking relatively clean out there for a round at Mill Ridge, but still leaving a few to be desired. Let's start with hole 10 at 677 feet. Big water carry. You want to get as far left as you can as well because the basket is just behind this clump of trees. There's not a bounds line all the way down the left and right-hand side as they do out here at Mill Ridge. This is a hole that only usually the distance throwers are getting.
Yeah, if you land OB, there is a mandatory drop zone. We have seen all of 3 birdies all weekend. Holyn was one of them. Kat Merch has got it, I believe.
Evelina got it. Distance throwers, like we said.
Yeah.
Same play from Kristin yesterday as today, getting more left than instead of carrying up to the top of the hill. Holyn and Ella both probably attack a little differently, just trying to get far and up high. That way they can use the hill on their second shot.
Holyn has been just smashing this tee shot, and that looks to be following suit. Oh, she's business
Business
now.
Holyn's here.
Oh, business Holyn.
She has arrived.
Entering strong. Whoa. Cool line from Ella. That's got to be so flippy. Let me see what that is.
Always looking like she's starting off a point.
Swirly S-line DD3. Yeah. Ella, funnily enough, isn't going for distance. She's going for, maximum air time. so the defense can run up and
do what they do.
Yeah. Silva, another standstill. Never ceases to amaze me, honestly, that's what she chooses. And obviously, for a reason, she's so good at it. But I like a run-up,
Yeah, this is a little bit of a slanted landing zone, so maybe she's just not as comfortable.
But it's almost every second shot out here is a standstill.
And that's why, maybe they're all slanted.
There are a lot of slants.
Ella with a super powerful forehand.
Yeah.
It was a little turned, so it does not have the steam or the height to get up the hill, but she'll be in circle 2, putting for birdie.
Just a reminder that we do have new Two Hot Geese merch. Trash Panda ghost stamped our logo onto some discs. We got some inner cores. We got some dunes. Check it out at JomezPro.com/shop. I'm going to stop talking about that and start talking about Business Holyn's incredible shot onto the green. That's huge.
I like how hype Holyn paces.
Yeah. Also, that was the most intense high five I've ever seen. Kristin hasn't really put this close for a birdie, but she's pushing today.
Get some strange ground play, but she'll be right around circle's edge for a putt for birdie.
Do you think Holyn's caddy has injured his hand from high-fiving Holyn?
No, he's got the high five callus.
he's trained for this day. Okay.
You think this is his first rodeo? It's not.
All right.
Tyler's been around.
Ella, first look at the birdie. It's crazy that they're all up here, honestly. Guess they're on lead card for a reason.
Yeah, only, 2 people got to circle 1 in regulation. Only 9 got to circle 2 out of 37 competitors today.
Kristin not able to get the birdie. Holyn has a chance here to take one back.
Silva dealing with a bit of a head crosswind here on this long kind of downhill putt. She sends it.
Yeah.
A little.
Leaves it right.
Yeah, a little jabby.
Big moment here for Holyn. Ouch.
We feel that.
Yeah.
Back to back close putts, not getting into the basket feels rough, especially when you are in contention.
It becomes so much pressure too. Just mentally to know you're not making the short ones. It's pretty rough.
And it's especially important right now for Holyn if Kristin is missing her birdie opportunity to step in and take a stroke back. Now it's all about the mental fortitude. Right now, Kristin slightly the advantage here because she has so much experience winning down the stretch. She's come from behind so many times and just continued to play solid. I'm rooting for Holyn to kind of get her first win since Throw Pink last year, first win of 2024, but it's going to take some mental strength.
Some grit. Some serious business, if you will. Hole 11 is a par 3, 272 feet, plays uphill, and honestly, I think it's just longer than the tee sign. A right to left sloping green means you do have to control your speed and angle as you come in. Most ladies gonna throw a flip up pretty much right at the basket or right at that tree to the right of the basket and hope they just miss. Going around that tree is a play. We haven't seen it too much. Most ladies gonna go low and linear. It was pretty taily, the wind here.
Mill Ridge is so good at these little tiny low ceiling gaps off the tee and then always bringing in a ceiling later in the hole as well. Doesn't quite allow you to throw the pure hyzer or even flex line to the basket. Kristin trying to flip something up. She'll be putting.
Holyn pulled low and to the right. That's not even going to be in circle 2. This one just feels kind of mean. It's like you should be in the circle every time, and then when you're not, you're like, why can't I? Why? Harder than it looks.
Yeah, the fact that we're not seeing Kristin or Ella or Holyn busting out a forehand just speaks to how far it actually is. It plays so much longer than 272.
Mm-hmm. The way the trees in the gap is too, I don't know, it doesn't really shape well for a forehand. It's like a very specific tee shot that it calls for.
Holyn forced to again contend with the ceiling of that middle tree. She throws a really nice approach shot.
Silva trying to give it a run, catches and drops really early. I'm not sure if she's just inside the circle maybe, or is she outside?
She was just outside. Okay. Now I don't know.
Yeah, we'll find out. Ella fluffing one out there.
I wish we could have like an interactive experience of what the wind feels like out there, because even though it looks like nothing right here, no one's putt looks normal at this moment.
Who told you about the 4D wind simulator that Jomez is coming out with so you can feel it at home in your living room?
Get excited.
They're actually deciding between like headsets and like a full room experience. You know, there's different packages, if you will.
Just wind blowing on your right cheek from your headphones.
Yeah, that way you understand what they're dealing with from your headphones. Yeah, VR stuff is getting crazy.
It is. A round of pars from our lead card. There were 7 birdies today. This is one of the holes that played under par, one of the 2 holes that played under par. So it's a little surprising to see no one walk away with a birdie on that one, but not that surprising.
Yes.
5 down for Hannah Bloomers through hole 14, just shooting up the leaderboard.
Fantastic. Hole
12, 648 feet. This is old hole 1 from last year, out of bounds all the way down the left-hand side. Doesn't quite come into play, though, I'd say until the second shot. Depending on where you land your drive, it dictates how aggressive you can be on the second shot. the distance sidearm is great to get to this green, but if you're trying to work a backhand and you're stuck on the right-hand side, it gets really, really risky really fast.
Really?
Really, really.
Man, look at how clean Kristin's scorecard looks after those first couple of bogeys. She's kind of on fire right now. Really finding her stride in this second half of the round, looking comfortable.
We saw a couple of players get really close to that OB line on the left side off the tee, just trying to go huge and getting big ground play. Kristin making sure not to do that. Holyn following suit.
Yeah, at first I thought that was too much turn from Holyn. And she is on the right side, but it actually flexed out of there pretty nicely. That was an ESP nuke. Might be a little bit pinched on the sidearm from over there. We'll see. Ella also putting a lot of turn on this. A lot. I don't know if it hit anything.
There is no out of bounds line over there, so she'll be able to play it as it lies. There is spectator rope.
Yeah, you're allowed to move the rope, though, if it's in the way. Silva with a really smooth-looking shot and landing kind of in a more typical landing area. The other ladies on the lead card pretty far to the right side of the fairway. Like, usually, you're not really looking at this over-the-top shot. Do you think she's going? No, she's not going over. She's going,
She's going over.
Going over. This is so risky.
It is, and that's so far to have to carry. I'm kind of surprised to see her do that.
It's a nightmare in there, in certain places anyway.
Ella said, no, I don't want a par. I'm going to try this crazy shot.
It's a birdie or a bogey for me. Kristin with more of the traditional, still aggressive line, but doesn't go up and over, chooses to go through the gap and lands inside the circle.
Yeah, very well executed. Silva tried to throw this backhand yesterday and went OB left today, early right.
Oh.
That corner is so brutal.
I mean, it's better than being out of bounds. Barely.
Barely.
Okay, Holyn trying to go up and over too. Let's see if she can do it better than Ella. No.
All right, let's see what the...
Boy, that's some garbage. Silva just has to pitch out 6 feet. Play for bogey here.
Yesterday we saw Silva struggle. I think she took 1 triple and 1 double. Today it's just singles. Playing a lot safer, but finding just the littlest bit of trouble here and there. Ella has a gap.
So close.
The smallest gap.
It looked good.
Oh, Holyn does make it through.
She makes it out. Okay. Weird looking little birdie putt. Actually, just the layup totally blocked off.
What a strange wall.
Yeah. Not one most women are finding or know exists. Ella not quite finding her putt from circle 2 today. She's had a lot of chances. Usually she's good for 1 or 2 of those in a round. Oh, Kristin to extend the lead to 4 now. Uh-oh. Holyn's in trouble.
Kind of surprising to see both Ella and Holyn's drives so far up and to the right, and then them choosing to do that over the top shot. I feel like it's kind of some unnecessary risk at this point, but they know better than I do.
It's tough when you have that power. I could see why that would be tempting. If they tried to go around, they probably wouldn't be looking at birdie.
Yeah.
They're not playing for par here.
No, they're not.
Which Kristin is comfortable doing. It's kind of what we were saying in those interviews earlier.
And it's what keeps her from taking big numbers.
Cheers to helping new players, to high fives and encouragement, to being a positive light while helping grow the sport. Cheers to you, Ranger Team. Thank you.
Hole 13, par 4, 630 feet. The OB line has been significantly tightened on the left side. It's also on the right. It was another kind of tail right to lefty wind, making the backhand difficult. Forehand works great off the tee. Second shot, just a dead straight tunnel. Danger everywhere. There is OB right. There is some to the left. There's 1,000 trees. Almost nobody has birdied it. Let's go.
Danger everywhere. The whole preview looks strangely like the state of Florida. It's accurate.
Kristin has been one of the few to consistently go forehand and consistently land inbounds. This one is pulled more than we've seen, but it checks up nicely. Holyn did land OB off the tee yesterday. We'll see if she can correct here. Ooh. I think she's safe.
That was a nice friendly little tree kick. It's not going to necessarily be an easy second shot, but at least not out of bounds. Ella ripping one right at the trees. And it checks up just in the nick of time.
Perfect. The C-line method. And we saw Silva do this yesterday with an NV. Wait, did she birdie this, yeah?
Yep.
So she went putter off the tee and got one of the very few birdies on the weekend. A pretty impressive play. That is also flirting with OB, but I think also safe. Everyone in a really similar area. It looks like it's actually a left to right wind right now, which makes sense.
And this is just the perfect shot for Silva's game.
Mm-hmm.
This is how she throws. What a great looking shot from very close to the rough. Holyn trying to work a run up.
Just the exact opposite of what Silva's doing. That is very pulled and in danger of being out of bounds. Regardless, I think it's in, but it's not going to be in a good spot.
Kristin pulling that forehand over and getting a really friendly bounce back into the fairway almost.
She's lucky it didn't careen into OB left for sure. Let's see if Ella can do this one a bit better.
Oh, I loved it. I loved it. It was so floaty and smooth, but catches that one tree it needed to miss on the right side.
Yeah, it looked like it had the right power and angle.
I like this play from Holyn. I don't think she had many choices over there. She does what she can, but she's going to have a hard time securing par.
Hasn't this played as one of the hardest holes every day? Like one of the top 3 hardest?
Yep, today it's the 4th most difficult.
Okay.
But yeah, it usually is.
Kristin's 3rd. It's kind of a stock. Oh. Huh. She messed it up. I was going to say she never messes these up. I think she had one mistake with a harp shot yesterday, but she really throws it straight into the ground early. She's still putting, but surprising.
Silva with a good bid from far away. Love to see her send that safely.
Silva had kind of a more big numbers, as you said, Mad, yesterday, but managed to stack up some impressive and difficult birdies late in the round. We'll see if she can do something similar today. Holyn gonna have to settle for a bogey here.
Kristin trying to sink one from circle 2 to save her par, but also going to card the bogey.
Ella, little bit of a straddle.
Ew.
Oh, man. That was, I swear that was in the basket for a full second before it flipped out. Ella maintains her composure. She doesn't flip out.
Silva going to walk away with the only par of our lead card. There were 2 birdies from Danny Clyden and Holly Finley.
Rough hole for our lead card.
Yeah, that
And the
pinch
ho-
OB on the tee really made the difference.
Rough hole for the field in general.
Yes. That one was already one of the hardest. I don't understand the addition of that much out of bounds off the tee.
Yeah, I liked the hole before with the original out of bounds line.
Oh, hole 14 at 294 feet. It's one of the most difficult greens to get to. I think only 5 people got to circle 1 in regulation yesterday. Thankfully, this middle tree is gone, so you don't have to just throw and hope. There is an actual designated line to hit, but it's not an easy one, a very technical and particular shot that has to go straight for a little while and then hyzer at the end, even getting a little ground play in this thick grass. It's always a windy green, so putting is no cakewalk in and of itself on this one.
Oh, no. Oh, yes? Oh, no.
Oh,
no.
man.
Silva takes a million kicks and rolls OB. It's really tough to save the par over there. I bounced over there today, and it is really low ceiling and challenging. The angle's very awkward.
Kristin also gets a tree kick. Not as bad as Silva's, but she's going to be in the little tree jail.
Yeah, sometimes it can be tough to find a reliable line in there. This hole is like the most tantalizing little, you're like, oh, it's only 294. I can get there. I can flex something through there. And then you land in some of the weirdest spots. Sick jump. Man, we haven't really watched, have we watched anyone get through this cleanly?
No. Nope.
Yeah.
I like how the sponsor signs say nice shot, and it's like the hardest shot. No one throws any nice shots on it.
It's not sarcastic. They didn't know.
Silva trying to get up and around that low ceiling that Erika was talking about, but gets tangled up again. Gonna have to take another try at approaching the green.
And left with a really awkward line here. She tries to force a forehand through. Oh, it's Kristin. Drop into circle 2. My bad.
Holyn pushing a left side tree, coming to the green. She has about 15 feet left.
Here's Silva's actual shot. They're both wearing black. They're both European. You know, I'm tired.
A nice little approach for bogey. 3 people today got to circle 1 in regulation, and only 3 got to circle 2 in regulation as well.
Yeah, I would have guessed that this hole would have played easier after they took that center tree out. But it's a tough line. Kristin, long one for par save, nearly 50 feet, left to right wind. Doesn't mess with it.
There were 3 birdies, only 1 from circle 1, the other from circle 2.
Holyn converts on the putt. She hasn't really hit a putt comfortably for a while now, so that one's got to feel good.
Yeah, I like seeing her celebrating that par putt like that.
Yeah, that's great. I mean, she's taking one on Kristin. She needs every stroke she can get going into these final holes.
Silva, unfortunately, going to take her first bigger number of the day, doubling hole 14. It can happen to anyone so quickly. It never feels good.
I don't know. There's nothing like a triple bogey to remind you you're a human and you make mistakes. It's fine. I don't mind it.
Silva only got a double bogey. So.
I know. I wasn't talking about her. Hole 15 is our par 5 of the day, 848 feet. First shot, you want to land a little bit more to the left side and as far as you can. Then you take usually this right side gap that the drone is flying. There's also a left side gap. Nice to land on the right side, not necessarily pushing the OB, but just trying to get yourself a look at coming around this final corner. They did clean up this last little bit of right side trees to allow for backhand hyzers to get into the green. I do really like this hole. We haven't seen as many birdies as I have expected, but honestly, it's quite a few technical max distance shots to get there.
Holyn shaking off. It looks like maybe a little bit of nerves there. Yeah. She knows the window's only to 2 strokes right now.
Which isn't much out here.
Nope.
That was an ESP nuke and probably the best tee shot we've seen Holyn throw on this hole.
Holyn also knows that she can birdie every hole out here, which is not something that a lot of competitors in the field can say. Ella working that left side. I really like the play.
Yeah, she slows down to an FD1 and makes sure she stays in bounds. Just a bit more left, I think, than is ideal, but totally fine.
Kristin, dead center. Far.
That's great.
Silva.
Oh, overturned.
Yeah.
She's lucky to drop safe there, honestly.
Still very pinched. Very risky shot to try to go over the top.
Her game sets up really well for this shot, though.
It sure does. And look at that.
Beautiful. I dare you to go out into a field and try to do that. It is so much harder than it looks. Perfect angle control.
Ella has a lot of space squared up to the gap perfectly.
Yeah, I guess it doesn't really matter that she's on that OB line. If she's lined up on the left side, that's great. I thought she'd be more lined up to the right and it'd be like a sharper hyzer, but I loved it. Kristin working the right side. Lands in a decent spot there. Oh, man. Holyn's got that body language that says, I'm going to eagle this, you know?
Yeah. I wish she was just a little bit further back because she could attack, but that tree forcing her to go a little bit more spike hyzery.
Still in a fantastic spot for a birdie look. Silva doing a run-up. Weird. This was a headwind on the final shot. You could feel it more on this kind of secondary part of the fairway compared to the tee.
It did not quite flip the way she wanted to, but thankfully it was not buried in the rough.
Mm-hmm. Yeah, they kind of cleaned out just enough of that corner to make it feasible to scramble from.
A really great approach shot from Kristin coming up on the short side of circle one.
Holyn looking to put this thing nice and close. Distance-wise, a pretty short approach for hole 15. And that was good. Still going to have to make a putt. Ella with a really short approach. Nice.
So good. Trying to add some birdies to her scorecard after a few bogeys. Silva giving it a little bit of a run from there.
I love it.
This played in the middle of the pack as far as easiness goes. I think the wind caused it to play much more difficult today.
Okay, Kristin misses. Door open for Holyn. I'm going to stop saying big moment at some point, but it's not this point right here. Oh, yeah. That's huge. She knows it.
That was indeed a big moment.
Thank you. Ella with a nice easy birdie there.
Getting a little bit closer to back towards even par where she would like to be. Holyn with the one stroke swing in her favor, closing it down to only 2 strokes between her and Kristin Tattar with 3 holes to play.
Couldn't have said it better myself.
Hole 16, this always plays as one of the hardest holes for FPO, even at 574 feet and a par 4. It's more the technicality and the shape of the hole that makes this one so difficult. Your drive, you can't really put as much on as you would like. You have to just throw more of a mid-range or a fairway driver and try to line yourself up with one of these narrow gaps, ideally one of the deeper ones, so it opens up the second shot to the green. But that out of bounds short and right side of the green makes it so difficult to attack. And it's just a little too far for most of the distance throwers to even get that forehand all the way there on the second shot.
That looks pretty good from Holyn. We'll see what she's
I think it was a little shorter than she wanted.
It's definitely shorter than she wanted, but I think she might be lined up okay. I mean, as you said, like another one where we've seen almost no birdies.
Yeah, Ella, I think trying to wrap the corner even a little bit and maybe go to birdie land.
Yeah, super aggressive play. She almost did it. She's nearly lined up with that kind of smaller right side gap. And then it's interesting to see Kristin doing the forehand as well, but not, you can see how much less aggressive it was than Ella's.
Yeah, this played as the second most difficult hole of the day today, averaging at almost 3/4 of a stroke over par.
Silva with a hex.
We watched Silva get a birdie on this hole yesterday with a throw-in from about, 80 feet, 100 feet?
Yes. I think closer to 100. Oh, brutal.
She can still save the par from there.
Going to be very difficult, though.
Kristin in the same position she was yesterday, not able to attack the green, just playing for par.
As she does. Sometimes. Silva not as far as yesterday. She had an absolute crush yesterday. But it's just showing us some really cool lines that we don't get to see very often in FPO. Ella's second, just chipping up, playing for par.
I feel like from this tree line where Holyn is, it's about, 275 or maybe...
I don't think quite that far.
It's just uphill, so it feels far.
Yeah, I think it's probably... Oh, that is a horrible mistake. She's not going to have a look to even save bogey from there. Yeah, I was going to say it's 250 max, but I think even closer. But you're right, it feels farther because of the hill, and that corner, as we saw, is absolutely treacherous.
Oh, my goodness,
That's
Holyn.
Just such a... back-to-back really rough mistakes to make with only 2 holes left after this.
Yeah, she really wanted to get on the green to putt, but because it's hard to just be like, oh, I'm going to play safe for bogey, but now she is looking at potentially double.
Most likely. I mean, she went in on the early side. She didn't kick out the back. So I don't think she'll have any kind of...
It stinks, though, because this hole is the worst.
Oh, I do like the effort.
Yeah.
I'm not left with much to work with there.
Only one person got to circle 1, and only one person got to circle 2.
Yeah.
Ugh.
Yeah.
Change hole 16. A double bogey from Holyn.
Right after she chased
Got one stroke
Kristin,
back.
down to 1 stroke. What a bummer.
But playing for or getting a par on this hole really does take strokes on the field. There was one birdie today, Evelina Saarinen.
I do think...
Props.
Yeah, for sure. I do think that Holyn has a better chance of birdieing the last 2 holes, or is more comfortable pushing for those birdies. Not that Kristin can't, but there's still a chance. It's just most likely Kristin's going to have to make a mistake or 2, and Holyn's going to have to convert these difficult birdie looks.
Yeah, a lot of stuff can happen on hole 17.
Our second par 5 of the day, hole 17, 849 feet. You want to get as close to this little ditch as possible, or in between those signs, or just before them, I guess. Second shot is a forehand, I think ideally. Third shot, you want to try to just get out there to the pin. It's so difficult. There are so many different places to land and so many angles you can take, backhand, sidearm. Who knows what's going to happen? It was a headwind off the tee.
Ugh.
Yeah. Yep. You didn't feel it as much on the second and third shots once you're in the trees, but you definitely felt it here. Because normally Ella would land 50 feet farther than that.
And it is a whipping headwind.
Yeah. And actually, a bird. I don't remember what I was going to say. I got distracted by that bird. Oh, wow. That's a great shot. Kind of keeping it under the wind there.
Yeah, the hole is simplified a great deal by pushing close to those post.
I don't know what they are.
Yeah, the 4 post. If you are short side of them, or we can see like Silva right of them, not in the gap, the rest of the hole gets so much more difficult.
Yeah. I learned the hard way that she should just pitch to the corner and should not try to go over the top from there. Looks like a good tee shot from Holyn. Lands just a touch short of what she's, capable of, but certainly not a bad shot.
Ella trying to miss that left side corner of trees, even though it's not out of bounds. It's really difficult to recover from, and it checks up really nicely just before that right side OB.
Gonna have a long tunnel shot for her third, but it is possible. Oh, look, I'm really impressed.
Yeah, one of the few people that can execute this shot really.
Oh, it's still OB.
On the right side? Weird.
Maybe. Yeah.
It had to be.
Yeah.
The
Just
wind
pitch
is
up, folks, it turns out.
The wind is blocked right there, but once you put it as high as Silva did, you'll find out. Holyn not turning the disc at all, and she really needed to miss those center trees. We'll see what she has to deal with.
Yeah, she kind of entered in from the side versus from the back, so she might have some kind of step outy something, but most likely gonna be looking at par.
Kristin not trying to push any of the tree clumps in the fairway, just chipping something out to the middle. It's super smart.
Silva did indeed go kind of deep right. Throws a similar looking shot, but lower. Is now working on the left side. Looking at a bogey from over there. At best.
Ella trying to work the flex through there. It's a powerful shot, and thankfully she has enough power that it got through all of those branches.
I'm not going to lie, the Ella jump when she messes up is kind of my favorite thing.
It is great.
Like, I get it. She's upset, but, like, it's pretty good.
Kristin executing the shot that Ella was trying so well.
Let's just slam that door shut. Let's just chalk it up to a nice victory.
That was great.
Absolutely clutch.
Ooh, really pretty shot from Silva as well. Floating a hyzer flip up the right side. Very touchy. She'll have a long putt from circle 2 to save par.
Holyn knows. Holland's fourth here, just playing for par after that pitch up. Man, what a crazy day. Holyn in the lead, then behind by 3, gets it back to 1, and hole 16 just absolutely wrecked her. Silva, not too super happy with that run there. Ella doesn't convert on the par save either.
Yep, this one played very difficult for the FPO field today with that headwind in the top 5. There were 5 birdies, but only 6 people got to circle 1 in regulation, only 10 to circle 2.
Yeah.
Kristin, one of the 5. Silva kind of fighting her own battle out there. We're not talking about it as much as the lead or the fight for first place between Holyn and Kristin.
Yeah, it's hard. A lot of ladies out there had a day like Silva's. It's easy to stack up mistakes out here, especially when the conditions are rough.
It's so difficult to get birdies at Mill Ridge.
Evelina Saarinen, 4 down, finish in the clubhouse. That's the hot round currently.
The final hole, hole 18. It says 429, but you have to carry really far straight for a while, so it plays. So the downhill does not allow you to take advantage of it as much as you would like and carry that full 429. A lot of players landing right here just before this stump and these guardian trees, or maybe even a little bit further right. Some technical approaches to the green. A lot of times you're not even able to putt, but we have seen some birdies. Kind of a funky finishing hole. The wind is a big factor, I think.
This
headwind?
Yeah, it was largely. Kind of maybe a hair left to right, but mostly head.
Makes this hole very difficult. I feel like a lot of the holes at Mill Ridge are holes that everyone can get. Highlight word can, but it's like if you're throwing the best disc golf shot of your life.
Yeah, every shot has to be the best disc golf shot of your life.
Yes.
To score well out here.
Every birdie would be considered a highlight birdie in your game.
That's exactly.
But then like 18 of them.
Yeah, that's very true. Oh,
wow.
Holyn. Let's end with a park job. Why not? And it was a good battle.
That's such a flex too, because not a lot of people are getting here. Only, let's see, 8 people got to Circle 2 in regulation.
And she's inside Circle 1, yeah?
I know. I don't want to spoil.
Oh my God, you're so good at your job.
Yeah, spoiler shield, you know?
Yeah, let's get that. We don't have a regional bird yet. Shield. Regional bird spoiler shield up.
Yeah, we haven't had many 4 birdies in a row this week.
We did have one, but we didn't have a name for it. But just the mystery Arkansas regional bird. Silva with a lower, more linear line gets some ground play. That's probably not even quite to Circle 2. Kind of a typical play on this hole, honestly.
Always a technical approach. Always a little too well guarded, honestly.
It is. Pretty little shot from Silva, though.
So technical.
Was she on both knees?
Yes.
Weird. What do you think? Runs it for some fireworks? It's definitely just a layup.
No, she doesn't need to.
Gosh, I know. I just always want to see it. Owen would do it. She wouldn't either. No one would do it.
No. No one could do it right there. That was a very tough technical shot.
It'd be so cool, though. Just why not? Just send it. Got a couple strokes to play with.
And Holyn, the graceful competitor, coming in with some congratulations. It's hard to get second place. I know that's great. You're at podium. You're stoked, but it is hard to be so close.
I'm sure she will have many more tournaments where she's in contention, and I think she's going to get that big win this year.
She was the only one that landed in Circle 1.
Yeah, she is. Way to finish.
And the only birdie of the day. So I love that she's exiting this round with a big old flex and a second place trophy. Silva, so cool to see her on lead card 2 days in a row. I think we'll see more of her.
And she's back-to-back top 10 finishes last week and this week.
So impressive. We'll see her at Champions Cup next week, and then she'll be across the pond for most of the rest of the season until the World Championships. So many events in Europe. But the big story here, Kristin Tattar with another win.
Back-to-back weeks. That's insane.
Music City Open presented by Lone Star Disc, FPO champion, Kristin Tattar.
You are the back-to-back Music City Open champion. How does it feel?
Feels great to be back here and to battle with Holyn on this pretty tough course, and to come out as a winner, it's really amazing feeling. Yeah, I started out pretty bad, and then I just told myself, you're a fighter, mistakes happen, you just have to give yourself opportunities. And once I started to give myself opportunities and actually like making birdies, I felt like there was this kind of a shift. So yeah, I felt that the momentum was on my side at the moment, so I tried to like take advantage of it. It was pretty hard because we were tied, and I mean, we both obviously want to win, and you can't afford making mistakes like this. So it took a lot of patience on my side to be just kind and wait for the birdies. I don't know, I've been feeling tired, to be honest. Me and Silva both, we were just talking to each other that we go to bed early, we wake up, but we feel like we've come straight from the gym. Like, I don't know what's going on. But yeah, it took some willpower to get out here and to focus and play disc golf. So I don't know, I planned on playing tomorrow because we only have 3 practice days, but we'll see. Maybe it's more reasonable to take some time off and just focus on the tournament.
Last question, are you going to learn how to play guitar now?
Oh my gosh, I can't make any promises, but I will hope I have enough time, yes.
Congrats on winning.
Look what Kristin Tattar can do when she's tired.
Impressive. She's got 2 Gibson guitars now, too.
Yeah, she could start a band.
She should.
Oh, a band
who else would be in the band?
I don't know. I think it would have to be a band of winners
Oh, man.
to play the trophies.
Congratulations to Haley King sliding up into a tie for 4th, and Henna Bloomers into the 3rd place spot with the hot round of the day at 4 down. Very impressive.
Yeah, so impressive in the windy conditions we had today. And Kristin having back-to-back wins like this in this season where everyone is so good, the best that they've ever been, is so impressive.
It is impressive. And then I didn't mean to skip Ella, who also tied with Haley for 4th there.
Held on.
Yeah, held on. So thank you all for joining us for the Music City Open. We are going to hit the road and have only a couple days to practice for a major Champions Cup in Peoria, Illinois. Thank you to the Founders Club. I'm Erika Stinchcomb.
I'm Madison Walker. We're your 2 hot geese.
Honk.
Honk.